involved in VIP protection, escort drills, where you are suddenly confronted with an attempt on your life or someone who's your duty to protect, and you have to carry out various manoeuvres to enable you to escape from that incident.
He's in reverse. A bit sharp on us, but he got the car round, took back off, and made a good getaway there. Back again! But he's in reverse. He's changing to neutral. Got into first gear, taking back off again. You see that? Well done! Swings in reverse, takes off in first again. Do you have that? As soon as he goes into the turn, moves into first gear.
Also during continuation, we'll do demolition skills, medical skills, patrol skills, and how to react under enemy fire. Then you'll go to the jungle, where all these drills and skills will be enhanced upon, practiced, tested.
It's a hard month, a very difficult month, and again a test of your personality and character, because if you suffer from claustrophobia, it soon starts to show in the jungle because of the close quarters of the vegetation, the jungle canopy. All you can just see is sort of green, a sea of green all around you. And we've had guys fail because it brought out claustrophobia, and they just couldn't stand being cooped up in the jungle. And of course, sickness fails a few, because you can soon catch some weird and wonderful tropical diseases in the jungle. There are plenty of them around, and many guys have failed because they've got all that way, and then some insect has bitten them, and the health has deteriorated, and they've been medevaced out of the jungle, never to be seen again.
And out of potential 30 to 40 extremely motivated candidates, you will lose another 50% during this phase. But the final test is still to come.
The whole idea about the manhunt in the escape and evasion phase of selection and training is to give the guys some idea what it's like to evade an enemy force, to be on the run, to have to live off the land, to try and escape from dogs, helicopter searches, troops on the ground moving in extended line through wooded areas. It's to give the guy that feeling of self-sufficiency.
You are set loose in an old, ill-fitting army greatcoat held together by a piece of string, a pair of old baggy trousers, a pair of boots tied together with a bit of string, and set off into the night. You give them a short head start. You have a button compass and a sketch map. You're not allowed to use roads. You're not allowed to use tracks. You're not allowed to enter buildings. And you're constantly pursued by a hunter force, using all the modern technology available to them.
It's designed to put you under severe stress. Depending on when you get caught, depends how much stress that you have to go through. For example, they do a 7-day exercise, and if you got caught on day 1, then you've got 6 days of stress and interrogation. If you are captured by a combat formation that's just been in action, they may have taken a lot of casualties. Some of those guys may have lost their mates, they're not going to treat you kindly. They're going to be thinking, these bastards have done my mates, let's do them. We know it's only an exercise, but if this person's of a weak mind and he's going to crack on an exercise, he's not going to last 5 minutes in enemy hands.
When captured, you're mentally and physically drained. You're under no illusion that that was the easy bit. For the next 36 hours, the screws will be turned.
The reason why when you're captured you are in fact strung up in a stress position, this is to find if the mind can survive the boredom and the stress of being suspended in that position for long periods of time. It also very much weakens the will to refuse to answer questions, to refuse to sign documents. If you're a weak-willed person, you're looking at that document and thinking, I don't want to go back in that stress position. I'm going to sign this document. Get me out of here.
Get your legs up! Get your legs up! Come on,
You are pushed to the absolute limit that an exercise would allow. This, again, is an attempt to simulate rough handling by an enemy force, because if you're going to crack on an exercise, you sure as hell are going to crack in the hands of some bent and twisted third world country.
At no stage do you ever see any other candidates. If you'd ever attempt to remove your sandbag, immediately result in failure.
There was one particular exercise that used to be carried out where you were put into a little hut that was no bigger than a dog kennel and locked in it. It had a corrugated iron roof, and the guards would beat the roof with chains. The sound was horrendous. Now, if you're a person that suffers from claustrophobia, that brings it on very quickly. And this rapidly becomes a mental condition. It's a play on phobias.
All this stuff is constantly gone around you. You're extremely knackered. You haven't slept. You haven't eaten. You haven't drank. You're physically knackered. You're mentally knackered. What you must do is always, always keep your mind focused.
This is classic disorientation. An old favourite used to be handcuffing you to the railway line, and then you'd hear the rolling stock coming down the line. Unbeknown to you, because you're hooded of course, unbeknown to you there was a set of points a few feet away from your body where the rolling stock would miss you, but you didn't know this. And all you could hear is the rolling stock rumbling down the rail. Just another attempt to completely stress you out, weaken your will, frighten you to death basically.
It has been known for hard men, people who perceive themselves as hard men, to physically and mentally break down, to sobbing wrecks during this process.